Good afternoon. The retirement has been announced today of David Rourke, the founder and managing director of Toys R Us in the UK. A career in Toys R Us that started on his kitchen table in June 1984 and now in its 27th year. We take this opportunity to look back on his life in Toys R Us.
Personal highlight really is to get the pride out of seeing all of the people that took the same risks that we did. I've seen their families grow. Lots of these were young men and women that joined us with the same dream as we had. They'd grown up with the company. Now they are on a day-to-day basis running the business. I get a lot of pride out of that.
Do you remember the first time you met Dave?
I do. I'll tell you about it, yes. We met at the South Mimms service station. In fact, I had just come from a grand opening of Tea for Toys. This is 1984. I'd rushed down the M1. Some ludicrous time I had to get up in the morning to meet him at 7:30 for a revolting cup of coffee.
I remember he asked me, he said, how many staff do you think you'll need to get there? And I said, 2. I've rued the day that I ever made that comment because he nearly made me fulfil that. I only have 2 staff, but that's history now.
The dream has now come true. Toys R Us. More toys than anyone in the whole wide world.
I don't see any direct competitors at all in this market. There is no equivalent of Toys R Us. We have 1 million toys under one roof. We have 30,000 different products. We have the same massive range in year round. No one is doing that. It is our intention to be in every single major conurbation in the United Kingdom over the next 3 years.
Well, he was fortunate enough, like myself, to be part of a start-up team, right? But he was very much the driver in that regard.
The first time I met David was at my management roundtable day, which was in Hemel Hempstead, of all places. That, I think, was the company's first office after David's dining room.
It would have been for when we had the round table for Toys R Us. So it was back in 1985. And to be quite honest, I thought I didn't get the job, so I went away and forgot about it.
First time I met David was at my induction, and I remember this guy walked into this room, dynamic, powerful, and I must admit I was a little bit frightened. I thought, ooh, what have I come into here?
I'd heard the noise coming up the stairs as he banged down the phone on somebody. David was fairly volatile in those days. There was plenty to get excited about. David always brought that passion, and actually he was always directly involved in the selection of the people that came to work for the business, and that wasn't just at the start-up.
With me now we have the Managing Director of Toys R Us, David Rourke. Good afternoon, David.
Good afternoon, Donald. Good afternoon, Radio 4's listeners. It was a jump for us, but it was a jump for everybody. All left something, all had a career change, and everybody believed in it. I think when you've got a lot of people who really believe in something, then they make it happen. And we actually built the store in about 15 weeks, and everything you see, the 1 million toys and other items in here, were all put in here in about 3 weeks from the time the builder handed over the building to us.
We have the Managing Director of Toys R Us, David Rourke. David, are you pleased with the response this morning?
Fantastic. Thanks for all the boys and girls for coming down today.
Well, it's the bottom line. I mean, it takes people to make a business, okay? And he was given the opportunity to put together a team of people, and through that has very much been responsible for what we are today.
Do we have the codes, Mr. President?
Yes, we have the codes.
All stores are fine, sir.
Good, show. We have made a remarkable discovery. Our field force on Yango Island. We've had a lot of discussion, but we have now decided that we are going to transport these dinosaurs back to where they belong, to urban Britain in the late 20th century. Gentlemen, that is all I have to say. Thank you.
I suppose there is the different moments when we've been filming, and he just says classic things, and he's a great mimic as well. So, he's classic. Like, I've always wanted to be in a disaster movie, and this is it.
There's a storm, and it's coming on us fast. We got to get out of here before. We got to get all these people out of here. I've always wanted to be in a disaster movie, and this is it. Well, we were young. I think that the fact is that it's fun. We love it.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain.
I think it's all the memories of that, of how he's always enjoyed his life, enjoyed the the whole movie making thing, and I think it's probably still an ambition of his to make a musical.
We're all going on a summer holiday, no more working for a week or two. Fun and laughter on a summer holiday, no more worries for me or you. For a week
I would say to those gathered here, and those of our fine men and women in the field, that I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, sweat and tears.
We are obsessed with timing, and to date, we have never opened one store even 1 minute late. I mean, I think the fundamental thing is even now, when we open a new store, it's like the miracle of birth. I still can't believe that we've done it, even though we've done it so many times. The marvel of creating that new store is something that all of us share the same passion with.
He means such a lot to the people out there. You know, how many people will take the time to visit every one of their stores through season. People are really interested about David, or when's he coming? And he'll say, oh, don't tell them I'm coming if they're having a day off. I want them to have the day off. But actually, they'd feel very annoyed with you if you didn't tell them, because they want to be there with him.
This is what it's all about, the store. This is where all the hard work comes together. All the supplier meetings, all the trade shows, all the trips around the world, all the negotiations, all come together. The only way that we measure our success is the way the consumer votes with their wallet. The ultimate manifestation of all our hard work is this, the Toys R Us store.
He's an absolute enthusiast. He loves retail, and I think he loves working with people.
What people don't appreciate is what his actual contribution to the business is.
As a businessman, he is very astute. He's a visionary. He's seen trends way ahead of other people.
If you think not only what he's done for the UK, but what he's influenced in regard to Toys R Us worldwide, a lot of his ideas have actually transcended across the globe.
He's always encouraged everybody to believe is that everybody should treat it as if it's our own business. He's also wanted everybody to feel as if we are one family, that it's not just a faceless corporate entity.
Actually, I'm very lucky to work with him, aren't I? In fact, we all are.
Welcome to Livingston. This store really demonstrates what the Toys R Us team can achieve. It is yet another finest hour for the entire Toys R Us team, and this is a truly amazing achievement. The whole thing about our business is it is a dynamic business. If we stayed with that 85 model, or the 90 model, or the 95 model, we wouldn't be where we are today.
He's a person who, when you meet him for the first time, is passionate about what he talks about.
There's no question about that. He has got a passion inside him which burns, and you just see it, you know. And I think puts a lot of energy and a lot of oxygen in us.
Passionate, committed, fiercely intelligent in every way, hilarious, amazing sense of humour, and also very caring and kind. One of the kindest people that I know. These are all words that you could use. Interestingly, David applies them very often to other people, but they apply to him 1,000-fold. He's totally irreplaceable. I would say he's been incredibly supportive to me in so many ways, and a great mentor. Couldn't have asked for better.
All the years I've worked for Toys R Us, I've very much worked for David as a person, and we are what we are today. It's an incredibly successful business, and we will continue to be, because that was where David wanted to take us to be. It's a void, you have to say that, because he's always been there in terms of advice and you know, just being there, adding to the whole business. So yeah, it would be something very odd the day he's not there.
When you've worked with somebody for 26 years, I think there are too many memories to distill it down just to any one. It sounds like a cliche, but what you see is what you get. You can really, really trust him. And he is a guy that you can really, really trust.
I think, for me, he's always been the inspiration. Somebody that nothing's impossible. You know, I've spent a large part of my life working for Toys R Us, and I've just been able to achieve personally so many things that I thought I'd never be able to achieve. And I think everybody would say that in some way or another, he's touched their lives.
It's been an absolute pleasure and a privilege to have worked with him. And I don't just value the business relationship, I value him as a not just as a work colleague, but as a friend. And I think that's a great lasting memory for me. So, I think the business owes him a great deal, huge amount. It's immeasurable, actually. So he will be a lasting legacy as far as Toys R Us are concerned. No question.